Okay, I almost forgot to record again. Okay, we'll just wait another minute or so, see if anybody else comes in. And I'm assuming everybody can hear me. Okay, looks like no one else is waiting. So, before I forget, remember we had another Pocket Trap meltdown in XN3B last night. I think I know what happened. Fixed it. So if you haven't got a chance to take XN3B, it extended to today, and I think the error is fixed. If you got any problem, still getting in, let me know. Okay. Oh, and urinalysis just became available like 5 minutes ago. All right, so that's available. It'll be up there for a week. Just like this quiz will be up there for a week next Tuesday. This is digestive and system anatomy. And it's a biggie as far as models go and things you got to know on the models. Lots of models. Identify the structures of the digestive system on both models and a preserved animal. The cat. Identify the serous membranes, really on a preserved animal, because you really can't see them on the models. Hang on, somebody is waiting again. Okay. Okay. Identify the ducts of the accessory gland. So we say accessory glands, we mean liver and pancreas.
Even after pregnancy.
Anybody ask a question?
Yeah. Okay. So she's Cameo, and she called me today. I actually want to see it.
Is this Heather?
Yeah.
Okay, she just sent me an email about her. So you want me to read it to you?
Who's talking?
Where is it here?
Sorry, I was still at work.
Excuse me?
Professor, this Thelma, I was still at work.
What's going on? What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Thelma? Hello?
I'm still at work.
See, you're breaking up. I can't understand what you're saying.
That's what it is. I put you on mute. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Then the fourth one on page 1, identify histological structures. On slides, no, we're not gonna do that. No slides. And trace the contents through gastrointestinal tract. All right. So, and there's like 5 pages of stuff on these models, beginning with the torso model. And what I think I'm going to do, rather than lug all these models from the room 404 over here, and then bring them back, I'm just going to share, I'm going to pull some models off the web and share my screen with you and point to those, because those are the ones actually I'm going to use for the quiz. And that's the same thing, for the urinary anatomy quiz. Those models are pulled up off of pictures off of Google. And oftentimes they're exactly the same models. Oh, wait a minute. They're often exactly the same models that we use right here at HCC. Because I think, only a few companies make these models. And there's a very small market for them. And that's why they're so expensive, as a matter of fact. And everybody uses the same ones. So I'm just going to pull them up off of the web. So let me pull up a torso model. Up right here. Let me first get into oh, wait a minute. I need the salivary glands. $706 for a torso model. All right, let me share screen. Okay, there's a torso model. Very similar to one we have, with something extra actually. Now the head's cut off, so you can't see the salivary glands, but I'll pull up another model for the salivary glands. There's 3 sets of salivary glands. You can't see esophagus either, but we can get other models for that. And you can't see liver, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. You can't see pancreas, it's right behind there. You'd have to move things out, the stomach out, to see the pancreas. But I wouldn't ask you that on these torso models anyway, but I have a much larger pancreatic model that I'm going to be using. This one has something interesting. This yellow thing here is the greater momentum. And most models don't have that. I usually have to ask that on the cat because you can see it on the cat. Okay. So you can just ask the general, on this torso model, just the general organs of the digestive system, right? Now the lines of the mucosa. General layers of intestinal tract. That's on this one model that we have. Maybe I should bring that one in because I don't think I can pull that one up. I don't know how to ask for it. So,
Hey, Professor.
yeah.
Christina told me that she's in the waiting room.
Oh, thanks. I didn't see a. Hang on a second. Let me stop sharing so I can see that. I don't see her, and I didn't get a message. But she says she told you she's in there. Let me send her an invite.
Okay.
Thanks. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Something's screwy is going on. Hang on a second. I don't think I can send her an invite on this computer. It's not letting me. Hang on a second. I'm going to go to my computer and send an invite on that one. I'll be right back. I have to get that model in there. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm in twice. Oh, my office now. Let me send her an invite to my office. Okay, maybe I'll just conduct it from, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, still recording. Okay, let me go get that model. Yes, she is. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm on both places. Okay, here we go. Sorry, Christina, I don't know why you weren't coming up.
It's okay. I sent you an email, but I didn't think you saw it.
Yeah,
It's on your.
I wasn't getting, usually I get a message that somebody's in the waiting room. I didn't get it. So fortunately, Joel let me know that you were there.
It's okay.
Okay. So I had to go to my office because I can't somehow invite from this computer in 407. So now I'm in there twice, but that's all right. All right. So I just mentioned the torso model. Am I still recording? Yeah. Then there's this model. Oh, so on page 8, and this is the model on page 8. So I have to take a picture of this, perhaps if I was going to use it on the quiz. it's got a section of all the parts of the GI tract. Remember, your GI tract is a muscular tube that runs through your body from mouth to anus, and it's all got the same, it's a mucous membrane, so it's all got the same layers. And I have a better model of these layers that I can show you that could show these in much larger detail. But here's the inside of the tract, from esophagus here, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. And the linings are all different. The epithelial is all different. In the esophagus, it's stratified squamous. In the rest of them, I think it's mostly columnar, also stratified squamous in the anus as well. And then there's different gastric pits in the stomach and crypts of Legucan in the large intestine. But the small intestine is really unique in that it has these villi, the finger-like projections that really increase the surface area. So that's this model right there on page 8 and 9. Also, I should show you this model. This model is not in your lab document. It's a new one that we just got a little while ago, and it's really the entire GI tract: the sagittal head, esophagus, all stomach, large intestine, small intestine, liver, pancreas. Oh, yes, pancreas is here. It's right here. And then rectum and anal canal. One thing you can't see here is a sigmoid colon, which I'm going to show you that on a different model. So then, and I'm going to pull up a dead cat off the web. Pretty sure I can do that. And look at the things on the cat, which are on page 10 of the lab document. Well, then on page 11 is a sagittal head. We're going to be using that again because we use it in respiratory. We're going to use it again here, and I should be able to get a sagittal head here. Yeah, sagittal head model. There it is. Yeah, let me share a screen. There's a sagittal head, and of course now we're talking about the buccal cavity or mouth, teeth, a hard palate, soft palate. Same thing we had in respiration. Back here, the oral pharynx, and also the back of your throat is also called the fauces, F-A-U-C-E-S. It's on the lab document. Down to the pharynx here, and now going into this tube right here, which is the esophagus. So we'll still be using the sagittal head. And that's on page 11. Then, the salivary glands now. Okay, and there's a very good, similar to our model we have right here. We have two salivary glands labeled by where you find them. There's one just under the mandible. There's the mandible right here called a submandibular. There's one just under the tongue, so it's called sublingual. And then we go to the side, just in front of your ear for the parotid gland. So those are the three sets of salivary glands. Page 13, you don't have to worry about, that's a cross-section of the esophagus. I'm not going to give you any slides on that. Okay. Stomach. All right, let's see. Which one was closest to ours? Well, they all basically the same. Okay, so you got this stomach, you got the esophagus going into it. And there's a valve right here. If you open it up, there's a valve right here called the upper esophageal valve or sphincter. And this area of the stomach just underneath it is called the cardia because it's right behind your heart. And this is where heartburn happens. When acid splashes from the stomach up into the esophagus, the stomach is protected from the acid because it's got mucus. The esophagus is not. And over here is called the fundus. Down here it's just called the body. And over here is the pyloric region. And over here is going to be the pyloric sphincter. And this is going to be the first part of the duodenum right there. And we have lesser curvature on the inside here, on the superior aspect. Don't worry about this angular notch. That's not, I never even heard of that. We don't have that in the, but we do have the greater curvature out here. And there's two mesenteries called the omentum. One of them's in the lesser curvature, which is called the lesser omentum. And it's going to be one along the greater curvature called the greater omentum. The lesser omentum is just something that holds the stomach in place. The greater omentum is actually a fat storage organ or structure. And you can see the rugae inside or gastric folds on the inside. And here's the pyloric sphincter right here and the upper lower esophageal sphincter here, where you can see the change in epithelium from stratified squamous here to columnar here. Let's see. There's also something interesting here. But this stomach is the entire GI tract has two layers of muscle, a smooth muscle in the muscularis. They got an inner circular layer, outer longitudinal, but the stomach has a third layer right here called oblique. So it's kind of unique in the GI tract that it has three muscle layers. So it makes it the most muscular organ of your GI tract. Okay. Make sure nobody's still in the waiting room. Okay. Then let's go into small intestine. Okay, so we have the small intestine right here, and there's three parts of the small intestine, going from superior to inferior, the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. Now, you can tell where the duodenum is because it's attached to the stomach. So let's see where I can get something. Oh, here's that model right here. They do have the model right there. That's the model I was just showing you. So I can't find that. I thought I maybe have to take a picture of it, but there it is. All right, that's nice to know. Okay. Where we get a good picture of the Wadlam. Come on, folks, where? We can see a little bit of it right there. That's the first part coming right out of the stomach. It's the shortest part, called the duodenum. And then it becomes.
Professor, I can't see the picture.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to screen share. Thanks. You see it now.
Yes.
And what I was wanted to show you before was this model right here. I forgot that I wasn't screen sharing. Now where is it? Can I move this over? Yeah. Move this over here. This model right here. It was the one I was just showing you a little while ago about the different areas. So, okay. And now the duodenum, it's tough to find a good picture of duodenum. Okay, so what I was saying, was you can tell what a duodenum is because it's right there next to the stomach. And then somewhere along there, it becomes jejunum. But where, I can't ask you that because I don't know where the jejunum starts. It's like a microscopic thing. You got to be an expert to tell jejunum from duodenum. And then jejunum becomes ileum. And again, you really can't tell. Oh, here it is right here. Oops. This one's pretty good. Here's duodenum right here. It goes along here. And somewhere along here, it turns into jejunum. And then somewhere later on, it turns into ileum. But you really can't tell where jejunum is. This is probably jejunum in here, but you can tell where duodenum is because it's right next to the stomach. And then you can tell where the ileum is because it's right next to the large intestine. So here's the ileocecal valve right here between the terminal ileum and the large intestine. And just inferior to the ileocecal valve is this blind-ended sac called the cecum. Well, this one's a little better over here. I think. This blind-ended sac right here called the cecum. And right hanging off the cecum is this thing right here, which is the vermiform appendix. Oh, there's our new model right there. It's the model we just got. So I can have that too. And they're all things labeled there. Wait a minute here. Okay. Okay, so one thing I thought about the appendix is it used to be thought that it was a vestigial organ. That is an organ that's no longer used. It was used at one time, it's no longer used, but that's not the case. It used to be a larger cecum in our evolutionary history. It was a larger cecum, shriveled up into an appendix, and now it's become an immune organ. This is called exaptation, where one organ starts off doing one function and slowly evolves to do a different function. It's full of mold tissue, mucosal associated lymphatic tissue. It's full of white blood cells, macrophages, dendritic cells, and things. So it actually has a function. You could, of course, live without it, because sometimes it gets inflamed and could burst. So you have to have it removed, but it's still nice to have. I mean, it does have a function. Okay, hang on just a second. I'll be back. We're over here now. Oh. Okay, I'm getting hungry now. Somebody is cooking something. I didn't eat lunch and now somebody's cooking. I can smell it throughout the hall. Anyway, speaking about the digestive system. All right, the next thing on page 17 is a cross section of the mucosa. I just saw a good model of that on here. Matter of fact, this looks like ours. This is very similar to ours right here. This is a cross section of the intestine. And the way I can know this is it has these villi here, these finger-like projections. That's the, in fact, this is our model right here. So there's villi, and these villi are have these blood capillaries right here, right? And it also has a lymphatic capillary, the green thing, number one right here, called a lacteal. And this is the epithelium around here. And just under the epithelium is the what's called the lamina propria. This is lamina propria right here. These are probably gastric pits, intestinal pits. And right here is another immune structure, number 9, called the Peyer's patch. And it is a bunch of, it's similar to appendix. It's full of, it's a mold tissue, full of macrophages and dendritic cells and neutrophils, eosinophils, all kinds of white blood cells. Okay. Then we got this thin line here, 3, called the muscularis mucosa. And then this area here is the submucosa. That's where all the bigger blood vessels are and nerves and everything. And then below that, 5 and 6 is the muscularis, 5 being the circular muscle layer, 6 being the longitudinal muscle layer. Then 7, serosa, which is going to be visceral peritoneum and some connective tissue. All right. Then move on to page 18, the pancreas model. And I might be able to find it right here. No, I'm going to have to go to, well, this is, maybe I have another one. It's close. Let me get a better one of. Okay, so this being the pancreas right here, right? And this being the liver up here. And should be one with a better listing of the ducts. Maybe this. Yeah, this is a little better. Okay, so this is the duodenum right here. This pancreas, and this thing right here is called the main pancreatic duct. It empties into the duodenum at the major duodenal papilla. Now along the way, it combines with the common bile duct, which is this green one right here. But also there's a branch of the of the main pancreatic duct right here called the lesser pancreatic duct, and minor pancreatic duct, and it empties into the duodenum at the minor duodenal papilla. Now, these ducts here leading from the liver bring bile into the gallbladder and bile into the duodenum, and they have names that you need to memorize. Up here is the right and left hepatic ducts. They get together to form this duct, the common hepatic duct. This duct right here that leads to the gallbladder here is called the cystic duct. The cystic duct combines with the common hepatic duct to form this duct, which is the common bile duct. The common bile duct joins with the main pancreatic duct to form this duct here called the hepatopancreatic ampulla. And that is all laid out, actually on a later page. That's laid out on page 21, bottom of page 21, called Figure 21, accessory ducts. Okay. Then we go to the liver, and let's get liver model. That looks like a good one right there. Okay, this is the bottom of the liver, the inferior aspect. This is actually better. Yeah, this is very close to our liver model. We got the right lobe, here the left lobe, sometimes it's called the main lobe. There's a caudate lobe up here next to the vena cava, a quadrate lobe here next to the gallbladder. And this is called the, that's called a round ligament. This is too bad. I guess it's got a second name, but in our book it's called round ligament. And this is called ligamentum venosum right here. And this is the remnant of the fetal bypass of the liver. And then right in here, we call this the porta hepatica. And it's got 3 vessels in there. The blue one being portal vein, the red one being hepatic artery, and the green one being the common bile duct. We really should look at this is like I said, inferior aspect. You should also know the anterior aspect or the ventral aspect of the liver. And this being right lobe, left lobe, and this is the falciform ligament behind here. And again, ignore this. We call this the falciform ligament. So be careful about that. And I think that's good for the liver. There's another arrangement of the pancreas liver rearrangement. Okay, then we got to go microscopic anatomy of the liver, not a slide, but a model of them. And liver histology model. Okay, here we go. This is good. So right here, we have a model that looks just like this. The liver is divided up into these lobules. They're like hexagonal. And at each corner of the hexagon, we have what's called a portal triad, which is a portal venule, a branch of the hepatic portal vein, and we don't call it a portal arteriole. That's just a branch of the hepatic artery, and then we have a bile ductule there also. Now, if we look at and there's a central vein in the middle of each one of these lobules, and these lines here are the hepatic sinusoids. They're actually the hepatic capillaries. Remember, they're the leakiest ones in your body. And we have a model that looks just like this, where on the outside here, we have the triad, a bile ductule, branch of hepatic portal vein, branch of hepatic artery. And then these guys right in through here are these sinusoids. So these are hepatocytes that are along here. And this is a bile caniculi right there. It goes to the bile ductal. And that goes to a central vein. And the central vein, veins coalesce into the hepatic vein, and the hepatic vein drains into the inferior vena cava. And these little spidery things in here, not really labeled, are hepatic macrophages. They're wandering macrophages that wander through sinusoids looking for bacteria or something, somebody foreigner that could have gotten in through your intestine and sent to the liver. So they look, they hunt for it. And so that's another immune function there. All right. Okay, page 22 is the model of accessory ducts, just like we had before. I'm not wearing the microphone, but you can hear me all right. I'll put the microphone on, maybe it's a little better. Okay. Then we go to page 23, figure 23, large intestine. So, here's the terminal ileum right there. Here's the ileocecal valve, the cecum, the vermiform appendix. And then rising up here is the ascending colon. Then up here, it makes a 90-degree turn, goes across to form the transverse colon. And this bend here is called a hepatic flexure because it's just underneath the liver. And then when it gets over here, it makes another 90-degree turn down posteriorly. And this is called a splenic flexure because it's just underneath the spleen. There's descending colon here, and then it makes like an S-shaped curve like this. And this is called the sigmoid colon down here. And then the rectum, and then the anus right here. And these yellowish things hanging off, well, wait a minute. First, these pouches here, one of them is called a house drum, and they're really the circular muscle of the large intestine. The longitudinal muscle is condensed to this strip that runs along the entire length on both sides of the large intestine, called the taena coli. And so this is a house drum, and haustra is plural. And the little yellow things hanging off the taena coli have two names. I learned it as epiploic appendages, but our lab doctor also calls them omental appendages. Oh. And this tissue in here is going to be the mesocolon. This holds the large intestine in place. And I forgot to show you the mesentery that holds the small intestine in place. Let's go to mesentery of small intestine. Here's the So here's the terminal ileum right. Here's the ileum right here, and this is the mesentery. It holds the. Now here's a strange thing about the term mesentery. It's a general term for all of these connective tissue sheets that hold things into place. Like the two omenta are mesenteries, and the mesocolon, that right here, that holds the large intestine in place, is a mesentery. But the mesentery that holds together the small intestine is just called the mesentery. So it's a specific in that term. Sometimes called a proper mesentery. I gotta apologize for page 24. Those arrows are way off. I don't know what happened, screwed up on this one, but you gotta, you wanna, you can fix those arrows. Somebody asked me in class just a little while ago if I can fix these arrows. Maybe I can. And you gotta forget about this on page 24. Forget about jejunal ileum. Like I said, we can't tell where a jejunal ends and ileum begins. So you can leave that out. The slides, starting on page 25, you can leave those out. 25, 26, 27. I'm not gonna put these slides up. We got enough stuff in this lab. We don't need the slides. But I wonder if I can we got a dissected cat. You see some of these well, here's is that the cat similar to cat? Now, I was telling people that in lab that you could tell what a cecum is, the ascending colon. I'd have to guess with a transverse colon. This has been arranged, I think, like this, because it's all jumbled up in a cat. And you can certainly see descending colon and rectum, but where the transverse colon is, or where those two flexures are, it's not going to be something great. Here is greater omentum than this, because it's full of fat. It's a big fat storage organ. particularly in males. That's where we generally store fat. This is a secondary sexual characteristic. Men and women generally store fat in different places. Men in the greater omentum, women in breasts and hips. Although they can have a big greater omentum too. But, oh, yeah, that's greater omentum. And here's a stomach of the cat and so on and so forth. Oh, wait, Stelma in a waiting room. Hang on a second. Thelma, you're with us. I didn't realize you were in the waiting room. Just noticed that right now. All right. So I think that's kind of like it, I think, of the stuff that could be on the lab quiz next week. Whoops. Wait a minute. How can I get to here? Anyway, that's going to be on the, so it's going to be lab quiz like the urinary anatomy and heart. It's going to be models with arrows pointing to different structures, and you just tell me, what the structure is. So is that clear, everybody? Any questions? Wait a minute. There's one chat question. Oh. Okay. So is that I guess that's clear to everybody.
Yes.
Okay, good. So like I said, this will be, it's gonna take me a long time to make this one. These ones with the models and the arrows takes me a long time to make, but it should be up, again, a week from today, it'll be up at this time and be open for a week. Right. And right now, the urinalysis one is up. Wait a minute. Let me go to my office for a moment. Hang on. Oh yeah, this is gonna be this is being recorded. It's gonna be put up on YouTube, like the rest. Wait a minute here. Where's the okay? I'll leave it. Okay, so if there's no questions, everything good, I might as well end the meeting, right? Or, like I said, I'll be doing that as soon as I stop. It has to compile, and then make a copy and put it up on YouTube. We can work on group activities if you want. If somebody's got a group activity that they want to ask about.